By Norelco patented lift and cut shavers, we make close comfortable. And by Xerox, the document company.
And welcome back here to Tiger Stadium as LSU has won the toss. They've elected to receive as Michael Proctor, true freshman from Pelham, Alabama, will kick it off. And back deep, number 11, Gary Pegues, and number 40, David Butler to the far side. Alabama ranked 3rd in the nation. The kick goes to Pegues, number 11, right at the goal line. Pegues with some room. And across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Proctor, the kicker, one of the men, and also George Teague. So immediately LSU will have good field position on the 45-yard return as they'll trot out true freshman quarterback Jamie Howard from Lafayette, Louisiana. That's what he's done so far this year. This is his 5th consecutive start after LSU has played musical chairs at that quarterback position early in the season. We'll set the offense for you and defense in just a moment. 1st and 10. In motion to the near side is Jacob. And the handoff. And across midfield, still running, Robert Davis. The freshman from Birmingham, Alabama, is finally driven out of bounds at the 38-yard line, 16 yards on the pickup.
Tennessee had a great deal of success running against off tackle against Alabama, and immediately this young freshman, Robert Davis, LSU's offensive attack comes right after the same location.
Keep in mind that the defense of Alabama has not given up a point in the first quarter this year. 1st and 10. Howard throws the screen, and it's there. David Butler inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. So 2 successful offensive plays, 16 yards on the pickup, and our diehard starting lineups for LSU: Davis and Beckham in the backfield. Jacob and Scott Ray, the wide receivers, and Harold Bishop, the tight end. Up front, Kevin Mawai, Darren Landry making his 30th consecutive start, Godfrey Simnick, and Brian Madden, number 57. That's the offense for LSU. Another first down. Call it the 24-yard line. We'll give it to number 5, Robert Davis. And this was a young man that got off to a terrific start at the beginning of the year when LSU was running the football more. Keep an eye on Copeland, 94, and Curry, number 80. A couple of very special football players with Gregory in the middle. The backers for Alabama are Hall, Rogers, Oden, and Antonio London. And in the secondary, Langham, Teague, Shade, and Donnelly. 2nd down and 8. They'll pitch it back to Davis. Trying for the outside, and it's not there, as number 52, Michael Rogers, a sophomore from Laverne, Alabama, was able to chase him down over on the far side. That's a look at Robert Davis. He is just one of 4 true freshman tailbacks. And when you throw in Robert Toomerlin, who they've moved to fullback, you've got 5 true freshmen who run with the football.
And all of them are in the position of trying to learn how to run the football, learn the system, trying to find the comfort level. But Robert Davis, by far, has adapted the quickest. 3rd down and 8. As that Alabama defense just given up 18% of 3rd down conversions, and inside the 20 to the 18-yard line as Robert Davis is brought down by Jeremy Nunley, number 73. And that will bring up a 4th down for LSU, and a field goal situation coming up as Pedro Suarez will come into the game to attempt the field goal. Pedro could be a key factor in this ball game. I saw him kicking earlier during warm-ups easily from the 40-yard line, making this.
35-yard attempt. And it's good. And for the first time this year, Alabama's defense has given up points in the first quarter.
And that's what I mean by small victories early in this ball game. They can continue. They've got a shot at pulling one of the great upsets for the 1992 season.
They will kick it to Chris Anderson away from David Palmer, and Anderson will bring it across the 25 to the 26-yard line. The tackle made by Lee Williams. Number 7, Jay Barker, 6'3", 209-pound sophomore from Trussville, Alabama, who is unbeaten as the Tide starting quarterback dating back to last year. And his numbers on the season, 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, over 1,000 yards passing. As Bama will take it 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. And they give it to the up back right there, 35, Martin Houston, 5'10", 235-pounder. As he gets about 3, as we take a look at our diehard starting lineups for the University of Alabama. Lassick has had a terrific last 4 games. Houston's a fullback. Prince Wembley, Kevin Lee, the wideouts, and Steve Buskey. He's got a sore back, but he's starting today at tight end. Hammond, Wilson, Shields, Stevenson, and Patterson, a good, solid offensive line that's played together for a long time. 2nd down. And Lassick, spinning, has got the 1st down across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Ivory Hilliard, number 3, came up to make the tackle along with Ray Adams. As we take a look at the starting lineups for the Tigers of LSU, the 3-man front, Miller, Davis, and Mouton. The backers, Gilliard, Williams, Lee Williams, and Corey White. And in the secondary, Buckles, Adams, McCorvey, and Hilliard. That's the starting lineups for LSU. And a player being helped off right now, number 49, Lee Williams. And Lynn, they have had some injury problems at the linebacker spot. Rovolo Swan, one of their starters earlier this year, has really had to give up football because of a neck injury.
Congenital back problem that he has. Williams was a free safety. They moved him to the linebacking position in this early season. You take a look at Anthony Williams, who's number 48 and playing. He was a tight end beforehand, so they've really shifted people around.
On a 1st down, they give it to Lassick off the right side, spins to the 48-yard line. And let's go to New York and John Saunders. John? Thank you very much, John. Interesting to note, of course, Curly Hallman, former head coach at Southern Mississippi, and Gene Stallings' first game as head coach at Alabama. Hallman came in and beat his former mentor and head coach at Texas A&M. Lassick with a big hole that time off the right side, inside the 45 to the 44-yard line, where Carlton Buckles and Ricardo Washington make the tackle.
Here's a checklist for Alabama. You see the first one up top, don't give LSU hope. Well, they did that right away by letting them march down the field and get a field goal. Play in LSU territory on the 50-yard line in. They're so conservative that this is really where they want to play the game. And, of course, control the game and create turnovers.
I mentioned Lassick has had a good last 4 games. He has rushed for 444 yards and 5 touchdowns in those last 4 games. As Palmer comes in motion and they give it to him around the right side. Palmer cuts it back toward the middle. He is dangerous every time he touches the football as he gets to the 30-yard line, where Hilliard and Nate Miller make the stop. 13 yards on the pickup.
Palmer is not a big guy. He is only 5'9", 170 pounds, but he has great vision and he has such quick foot movement. You see him make the sharp cut up on the inside. Every time he gets his hands on the football, you think he's got a punt return going, the way he moves, jukes in and out.
Well, then he averages over 11 yards every time he touches the football, and he's touched it 52 times this year. 1st and 10. And they fake it around as they give it right up the middle, and a gain of about 4 as we've got 9:48 to go. First quarter, LSU has scored first. They lead Alabama 3-0. Martin Houston, the man that carried the football that time.
I'll tell you one thing in terms of college football is getting an idea of what a team's going to do. Take a look at that graphic. Alabama's offense on the ground, rushing the football, 100% on 2nd down. Knowing that going into a ball game can get your defense in the position to really stop that unit.
7th play of the drive, 2nd and 7. As they give it to Lassick. Cuts it back toward the middle. He's got the 1st down as he's pushed to the 20-yard line. Daryl McCorvey finally made a tackle. And want to remind you, on Monday, the NFC West rivals collide, as it'll be San Francisco and Atlanta. That's coming up at 9 Eastern time Monday night. The Falcons and the 49ers on ABC's Monday Night Football. I mentioned a huge crowd of Alabama fans. Earlier this year against Tulane, they had about 40,000 people supporting them there. They got over 10,000 here today at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge on 1st and 10. Palmer's the man in motion. And they'll give it to him. Palmer faked the option that time. LSU hung tough, and he got about 5 yards. Palmer's a guy that will line up as a wide receiver. He'll line up as a running back, and then he'll even line up as a quarterback sometime.
He can throw the football. He's got all the talents, extraordinarily versatile, and they want the football in his hands to make moves. He always makes good decisions, too, by the way, so don't think that when you see him on the reverse, when you see him trying to option the football, he feels uncomfortable. He's a headsy player.
Palmer's averaged over 10 yards a carry rushing and over 10 yards receiving. As Lassett gets a couple of tough yards there, that's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 2. As the clock moves down to 8 minutes to go, James Gilliard, a freshman from Shreveport, came up to make the tackle. He's number 7, 6'2", 216-pounder.
Gilliard wearing number 7. He wears that because he is John Elway is his hero.
Is that right?
That's right.
And he's not a quarterback.
He's not a quarterback. He's always admired John Elway.
3rd down and 2. Parker incomplete. Intended receiver was 25 Derek Lassig, the senior from Haverstraw, New York. And that'll bring up a 4th down situation. So LSU's defense, they stretched out a little bit that time. Alabama was able to bend them a little bit that time, but they held on, and now Bama's going to go for the field goal.
So we've got, at this point, 2 offensive drives, one by each team, that have mirrored each other, and we're waiting for Michael Proctor to see if he can put the 3 points on the scoreboard.
29-yard attempt. He's 14 out of 22 so far this year. And it's good. So Proctor has tied it up with 7:27 left to go, first quarter. Alabama and LSU are tied at 3 apiece.
He has, but Gary Pegues, number 11, who returned the opening kickoff for kick yardage, wants to make sure it's not going to be as successful this afternoon.
Butler is also back deep. And the kick will come to Pegues, and Butler's, wow, I'll tell you, I don't know if Butler made the right call there. There was some room to go. But anyway, they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and LSU will take over with 7:27 to go, first quarter.
Obviously, LSU has got to take some risk in this ball game to gamble. You were talking about not bringing out that kickoff. They would prefer to take their risks at midfield. He takes it out. He's unsure. Doesn't get to the 20-yard line where they've already given himself a little negative yardage.
In motion is Jacob to the far side. Pitch back, fumble. Alabama's going to get it. Lemansky Hall, number 11, was the man closest to the football as Jamie Howard fired it back to tailback Robert Davis.
Take a look at the play here. Number 80 is Curry. He plays it along the line of scrimmage. Look at number 55, Antonio London. Comes in, makes a big hit, but the ball is gone.
This is the thing that's been killing LSU all year. They have just self-destructed constantly.
And deep in their own territory.
Exactly.
We're talking an 18-yard drive for a touchdown.
Ball at the 17-yard line as Barker will hand it off to Lassett. And Lassett gets down to the 10. That was Lemansky Hall, by the way, with the fumble recovery, as Ivory Hilliard comes up to make the tackle. Looked like there was a bit of a mix-up. I don't know if Davis thought he was going to get the football. They faked it to Beckham into the line of scrimmage. It appeared as though the ball just bounced off his shoulder pads.
Yeah, but it's part of what they want to eliminate in this ball game. On the checklist we have for LSU, one of the things they have is called silly mistakes. That was one of them.
2nd down and 3 as Lassett will get it one more time, and Lassett down inside the 5 to the 4. And one of the things that Alabama does so well is their turnover margin. They are at plus 11. That ranks 7th in the nation, and it's the best in the Southeastern Conference. First down for Alabama as head coach Gene Stallings has got this team well rested. He said they really needed that week off. You'd think a lot of teams on a winning streak playing well would just want to keep on going. He said no, not at all. They needed that time. First and goal from the 4-yard line. Handoff off the left side, and power running right there by number 35, Martin Houston. And he's going to be stopped just short of the goal line. Robert Deschâtel, number 46, a sophomore from Lake Charles, Louisiana, was there to make the tackle. And Williams, you can see that right leg heavily bandaged, is leaving the field right now.
Second down.
Second and goal. Vlasic, the deep back. He gets it. Touchdown. His 8th rushing touchdown of the year, and the 6th in his last 5 games. And the turnover by LSU leads to the Alabama touchdown. Michael Proctor will attempt the point after. He's 25 of 26 on the year. In high school, this kid made 53 consecutive point afters, never missed one in his high school career. And with 5:49 to go, first quarter, Alabama has jumped out to the lead. A swimming pool attached to the west end of the building. It was planned by Long as the largest pool in the country at the time of construction in the early 1930s. There's a look at the young man from New York that scored the touchdown. Vlasic, 8 carries, 48 yards, and a touchdown for Derek Vlasic.
And he is a workhorse. He will sometimes carry the ball on a drive 8, 9 times, just powering down the field.
Proctor to kick it off. And it's a short kick as Butler takes it for the 6. And Butler gets to the 24. Let's go to New York and John Saunders.
Roger, Southern Miss in Florida. Eric Rhett leads them back here, diving in, leaving his feet at about the 4. Gets in for the touchdown. Ford on top, 7. Roger, back to you.
Thanks, John. 1st and 10. Jamie Howard, who has been drafted and signed a contract with the Atlanta Braves, and after school this spring will report to their minor league organization. Incomplete on that pass. And Lynn, your checklist on LSU.
For LSU, it's pretty simple. Stop Alabama from running the football, which they do so well. The key, 4 second and long, 3rd and long situations. Alabama is very seldom put in that situation where they have to pass, and they want to push them in there, into that situation. You see the bottom of no silly mistakes. LSU, unfortunately, has already been put in that position where they created the turnover, which led to Alabama's touchdown.
2nd and 10, 24-yard line. They'll hand it up the middle. Not much there. Gain of about 2 that time. The ball carrier was number 32, Jermaine Williams, junior from Donaldsonville, Louisiana.
Let's take a look at number 80, Eric Curry. He's one of the 4 finalists for the Lombardi Award. Look at him. He gets off the line, good quickness. You see a man pulling out to block him. That's what you mean by good feet. You see the way he just kind of avoided the blocker? Didn't have to take him on. Quick feet, slides to the inside. He's on the tackle.
6'6", 255-pounder on a 3rd and 8. Howard to throw the football. And it was a complete,
yes.
What a catch at the 39-yard line. There were 2 receivers in the vicinity. Scott Ray, 17. It looked as though it was intended for him, but Jacob made the catch.
You see a play like this on the volleyball game, Roger, where somebody fakes like they're going to spike it and someone else does. Look, that Scott Ray looks like he's going for the ball. It's tipped a little bit, but Jacob is alert. He's right there, and he makes a catch. Oh, couldn't have been more than a half-inch left on the sideline.
Nice grab, and Jacob has caught at least 1 pass in 17 straight games now. He's a senior from Crowley, Louisiana, as Torrey James goes in motion to the far side on 1st down, and Davis has no running. You know, the running game's been a mystery for LSU this year, because in their first 4 games, Lynn, where they went 1-3, they rushed for over 600 yards, and they lost those 3 games by a total of 14 points. Their last 4 games, they've rushed for less than 300 yards, and they've lost those 4 games by a total of over 60 points. So they're really scratching their head about what's going on.
They are scratching their heads, but they're facing a defense which is also forcing them to change their strategies a little bit. Last year, they put the ball up in the air about 40 times against Alabama, and Alabama anticipates them doing the same thing here.
On 2nd and 10, Howard is going to tuck it under, and he doesn't get very far. He loses about 3 yards on the play as James Gregory, number 98, a junior from St. Louis, Missouri, was the first man to get to him. Well, we talked about Curly Hallman had been rotating quarterbacks, not just this year, but last year. 4 different players have played quarterback this year. Jamie Howard was decided upon 4 weeks ago in the Colorado State game to lead the way. And, you know, he's learning how to play the position. He's a true freshman. And that's the first time he's been sacked over the last 3 games. And he's got pressure on him right now. He's able to elude it initially. He's got all sorts of room. He can get to the stakes and does. Beautiful job by Jamie Howard, the freshman from Lafayette, Louisiana.
Well, I'll tell you, it's the big dog theory here working. Look at number 80, Curry. He's the big dog, and he's putting the chase on the Jamie Howard. Jamie sees him. Plus, number 55, Antonio London. He says, I better run a little faster. He gets to that corner, and he is very fortunate. There's no one else over there. He picks up some big yardage for that first down.
14 yards as Jamie Howard, the true freshman, shows you some running ability. And LSU has it 1st and 10. The ball right at midfield. First man through is Beckham. Seemed to be a little bit of a mix-up right there. Howard limping just a little bit as he comes back to the huddle.
I was watching Curry on that last play, Roger. He engages his man, drives him back about 2 yards, and then he starts working laterally along the line of scrimmage, but he's already in the backfield. I mean, there's no way you can expect to get a big gain when you allow someone on the defensive line to change that line of scrimmage to 2 yards in your backfield.
LSU faced now with a 2nd and 9, and this is what Alabama does so often, getting their opponents into those 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations. On the 8th play of the drive, Michael Rogers makes the tackle. We talked about some of the quarterback shuffling. Remember Tommy Hodson, who set all sorts of Southeastern Conference records, now with the Patriots, finished up here in '89. Those are some of the guys, or those are all the guys really, that have played in 90, 91, and this year 92. And Howard's the first true freshman to start at quarterback for the Tigers since Steve Ensminger back in 1976. But he has won the job. LSU 2 of 3 on 3rd down situations. It's 3rd and 7. He's going deep. Intercepted inside the 5-yard line. Number 10 back there, Tommy Johnson, makes the interception on the pass intended for Scott Ray. And the Tide defense has now intercepted a pass in 22 of the last 27 games under Gene Stallings.
Tommy Johnson's first interception of the season. He was a wide receiver and a quarterback before. You look at him going after the ball, he looks like a wide receiver there. Going up in the air, trying to catch it at his highest point, inside position on Scott Ray on that interception.
First interception this year. He had 25 interceptions at Niceville High School in Florida. So
Niceville?
Niceville.
Yeah, it wasn't so nice for the other guys.
2:12 to go, first quarter. Alabama, Barker, play action, and he wants to go deep and just past the outstretched hands of 37, Kevin Lee. And tomorrow on ABC Sports, figure skating's great champions and young stars will break deep in your own end early in the game. Go ahead and air it out.
Certainly something you wouldn't expect Alabama to do.
No, not at all.
But obviously LSU would have rather have scored, but this interception inside the 5 is as good as any punt.
You're right on that. You're right on that. 2nd and 10. Barker wants to throw it again. He's in trouble. He's sacked. He is sacked by James Gilliard and the safety. Well, I'll tell you what. You see the defensive coach, Mike Bugard, down there? He picked up about 3 of his kids as they came running off the field.
They are playing with the emotion and the intensity and some confidence, which they lack coming into the ball game. It's 7-on-7. It's a passing situation. The first time Alabama's thrown the football on 2nd down, and the result is a safety.
Unbelievable, that stat that they had not thrown on 2nd down coming into this game all year. There's Bugard right there. He was fired up. We were talking to him about 3 hours before the game today. Well, Barker, they put him in a position in his own end zone. And Lynn, you make a good point. They're just not used to that. They don't do that sort of thing. Gene Stallings takes as few risks as possible. He only does offensively what he needs to do. He told us yesterday, if I could win them all 8-7, I'd be real happy.
And he would like for the situation to arise where it's his choice when he puts the ball in the air and takes chances. He decided to do something tactical because he felt the defense wouldn't be looking for it, and he was right. But LSU played it well. Gilliard comes up with a big play that they need in this ball game, results in 2 more points and possession of the football.
Gilliard's been very active so far. He's got 5 tackles and that sack. And when's the last time you had a 10-5 game? 20, huh? That's what it is here. Alabama 10-5. They'll get the free kick. Brian Deal will send it down and bobbled momentarily and then picked up by number 3 of LSU, Ivory Hilliard, and Tigers going to have good field position. There's a look at Gilliard.
Ivory Hilliard.
He's just one of a number of true freshmen. He's out of Shreveport, Louisiana, that are seeing a lot of playing time. Both of these teams, though, returned 16 starters. It's a little deceptive, though, for LSU because Curly Hallman plays so many guys, and he starts one guy one week and one guy the next week. He's looking for the right mixer.
Well, he wants to also keep them fresh, but as you said, they're young, and he's looking for the guys who are going to play for him for the long term.
Wesley Jacob in motion on 1st and 10, right at midfield. The first back has got nothing going. Nothing going as Eric Curry and Lemansky Hall are there to greet number 36, Robert Toomer, the freshman from Sylvester, Georgia.
Most teams, when you...
How about Notre Dame? They kind of got it together today, huh?
Ooh, boy. I think a few people asleep in the stands on that one.
Loss of 1 on that last play. 2nd down and 11. Jacob once again in motion to the near side. Play action. Howard got a receiver at the 44-yard line. The man making the catch over there, number 45 for LSU. Get a number there. Cedric Wilson, excuse me, number 41. A freshman from Thomasville, Georgia.
Here's a tough situation for LSU. It's 3rd and 5. You figure they're going to throw the football, might come in with a draw. Alabama's defense is so solid, they only send 4 people, very seldom blitz.
Trips to the far side for LSU on 3rd down and 4. Howard pump fakes, now he goes deep. He just throws it up in the air, and another interception. Yes! Another pick, this time by number 13, George Teague, the senior from Montgomery, his 5th interception of the year and 11th of his career.
Bad decision by Howard. He's going to get a little pressure on this by Lemansky Hall, number 11. You see him coming up on the inside. He gets right in his face a little bit, but the ball is just badly thrown deep. There was no chance for Brett Beck, number 87, to make a play on the ball.
That's that high hard one he'd throw in baseball.
Another offensive punt.
So 3 turnovers so far, a fumble and a couple of interceptions, and LSU is still just 5 points behind, and this defense is really fired up.
And you can bet your life that coming up on this next 2nd down situation, Alabama will probably run, but they'll have a whole bunch of LSU jerseys on that line of scrimmage.
LSU is last in rushing defense in the Southeastern Conference, giving up over 212 yards a game, and last in total defense. They have 5, leads at 10-5. Swan, I'm Roger Twibell. Alabama leads LSU 10-5 as we get set to start the 2nd quarter. 2nd down and 6 for Bama from the 7-yard line, and nothing going right up the middle there as Martin Houston is driven back, and they're going to spot it right at the 5-yard line. Clayton Mouton, the senior from Beaumont, Texas, made the tackle.
Big play, Mouton. Number 59, take a look at this line. Look at number 59 right there. Watch him engage, then move off the block back to the outside. Excellent technique, keeping that outside arm free. Moves in to make the stop.
6'2", 277-pounder came into this game with 47 tackles, and Alabama faced with a 3rd down and 8. LSU has allowed a 43% completion rate on 3rd down as Barker goes to throw, and it's way overthrown. Well, I tell you, the closest receiver was Prince Wembley, number 32 at about the 15. And Jay Barker, who got his first career start here at LSU last year, almost to the day, November 9th, 1991, is 12-0 as a starter. And he struggled a bit so far this afternoon.
Well, a couple of weeks ago against Ole Miss, who likes to blitz, he came in, controlled that short passing game, didn't lose his composure.
Brian Deal, that's a short kick. Carlton Buckles will take it on the bounce at the 47. And Buckles gets about 3 yards to the 44-yard line where Tommy Johnson came down to make the tackle. And once again, Lynn, LSU's going to have good field position.
Yes, they are. Take a look at the stats here. Nothing surprising. LSU very balanced on the offensive side. Probably the big surprise and the big disappointment is on the 3 turnovers for LSU already in this ballgame.
Well,
you can't survive against a good football team with that number. But in the pass for Alabama also 0 yards.
1st and 10. Let's call it the 44-yard line. Jamie Howard's checking off at the line of scrimmage. He's going to throw a quick out over here. He's got his receiver, Ray, inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Scott Ray, the junior from Baton Rouge.
A good play, but the mistake comes on the pass on that play. Howard gets that ball up too high. When he does that, he forces the receiver up in the air to catch it. It takes away the time he needs to make that move by the first guy to get downfield.
Howard 4 of 7, couple interceptions, 42 yards on 2nd down and 5. Jacob, the motion man, to the far side. Play action this time, and Howard overthrows his intended receiver, Wesley Jacob, the senior. And once again, Lynn, another high throw by Jamie Howard. Tommy Johnson, number 10, was on the coverage. As the Alabama offensive line, I don't know, they've already written up the play, I think. They've wiped it away, and they're just kind of thinking about it right now.
Believe me, the only thing blank over there is that girl.
That's right.
The minds are working a mile a minute.
3rd down and 5. LSU 2 of 5 in 3rd down situations. Howard eludes the pressure. He's got the 1st down, and he slides inside the 30 to the 26, showing you his baseball skills right there.
Well, that slide wouldn't get him safe on second base, but it would get him safe on the football field.
He knows better to make those head first slides. Tough year for Curly Hallman. Started off here at home with a good effort against Texas A&M. Came back with a solid win against Mississippi State. And in that game, they did it with turnovers, Lynn. 24-3 victory. But since that time, it has just been an uphill battle. 1st and 10 from the 28. Handoff and going nowhere. Stopped at the 31-yard line. David Butler ran into Will Brown, and this is one of the things that Alabama does so well, their rushing defense.
Well, take a look at the defensive pressure. The charge, but what Will Brown does well when he sees the ball going to the other side, he slides in from the outside linebacking position at a good angle. He's still in position to play the ball if they try and bounce it to the outside, but he's got a great angle for attack if they try and cut it back at the line of scrimmage.
Alabama allows just 1.8 yards per rushing attempt. LSU's 2nd down and 13. They'll try to run it again as Butler coming to the outside. Turns it to the 30 and to the 29-yard line, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up a 3rd down situation as James Gregory and Michael Rogers. And this is why Alabama can stop everybody they play. They're number 1 in total defense, number 1 in pass defense, number 1 in scoring defense, and number 2 in rushing defense. And when you throw in that turnover margin, Lynn, you can, it doesn't matter what league you're playing in, you're going to win.
Well, Gene Stallings has always believed that you win with solid defense first. Don't make mistakes and don't lose a ball game with your offense.
3rd down and 11. Howard, lots of pressure. Can't elude it and might have lost the football. At the 40-yard line, he did, and it's recovered by Frank Godfrey, the center. Antonio London was a man putting the pressure on Jamie Howard.
London's going to come in from the outside, but look at the pressure on the inside. Number 94, Copeland, good swim move. He comes inside, trying to get in to make something happen there. Jermaine Williams, 32, tried to block him. Pressure comes from the inside, allowing the people from the outside to cut off some angles, get in on the stop.
Back deep, David Palmer for Alabama. Brian DeSalle standing back at his 46-yard line to punt it. It's a short end-over-end punt. Palmer the fair catch at the 14-yard line. 10:44 to go, first half from Baton Rouge. Alabama leads it 10-5. Due to a scheduling quirk in the expanded Southeastern Conference, that Alabama has played here at Death Valley, but they're very happy to be here. They're 10-0-1 at Tiger Stadium since '71, and on first down around the left side, Derek Lassick takes a pop, but he's able to get it up to the 20-yard line. Vincent Fuller, number 27, a senior from Leesville, a former running back, came up to make the hit.
Yeah,
I didn't know offensive players could hit like that.
Well, I think he was born to be a defensive player. He comes up, makes the pop, but what he doesn't do is wrap him up.
Lock it up.
You know, you have to wrap him up, put your arms around him, bring him to the ground. If you can't bring him to the ground, wait for the posse to show up.
He was originally a defensive player, but then they moved him to running back because of injuries. Now he's back to where he's comfortable at. Is Barker on the middle screen to Palmer. And Palmer is wrapped up at the 32-yard line. Fuller once again there to make the tackle. And that just shows you a little bit of what David Palmer can do once he gets the football.
As we watch David Palmer, keep in mind that Jay Barker has had little success this afternoon throwing the football. They've got to make sure his confidence stays high. One way to do that, find a high percentage, pass plays to go with until he feels more comfortable, and then go for something a little bigger.
That was his first completion. He's 1 of 4 and make it 2 of 5 now as he finds Prince Wembley. And next Saturday, you want to catch doubleheader action here on ABC Sports. Illinois and Michigan will be coming to you live at 12 noon Eastern time. And then after that, some regional action for you. Georgia against Auburn, Arizona and Southern Cal, Syracuse against Boston College, Ohio State against Indiana, and Colorado against Kansas. That's next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central, right here on ABC Sports. Second down and 4 for Alabama with 9.5 to go. First half. From Baton Rouge. Whoa, what a stick there at the 40-yard line. What a huge hit.
Anthony Williams.
Yeah, Gilliard also was there, number 7.
Williams, as we said, a tight end. Until 2 weeks before the beginning of the season, they moved him to linebacker, and he is just fast and aggressive, moving to the ball extraordinarily well. And you saw how James Gilliard, number 7, set him up.
Right.
And then Williams came in, knocked him down like a one-pin in a bowling alley.
Chris Anderson took the brunt of that. The ball carrier on 3rd and 2. Pass completed to the near side. Prince Wembley makes the catch, and that's more than enough for the first down as Ray Adams makes the tackle.
Alabama on offense. In these situations now, 3rd and short, LSU's defense putting a lot of people up in the front of the line, looking for the run, because that's what Gene Stallings wants to do. So now they've got to adjust, put the ball in the air for the short pass. The last few plays, they've been able to do it very successfully.
1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. They give it to the deep back, Chris Anderson. And the junior from Huntsville, Alabama, gets to near midfield, about the 49-yard line. A gain of 2. Ricardo Washington, number 13, a converted tight end. And, you know, Curly Hallman's done a lot of that, Lynn. He's moved players from offense to defense, defense to offense, trying to find the right mixture for him in this his 2nd year as head coach here. 2nd down to 9, just a gain of a yard on that last play. Pump fake, Barker again, and finally gets the receiver at the 37-yard line. The catch made there by number 85, Curtis Brown. 15 yards in the pickup, and Barker, Lynn, certainly favoring the near side of the field.
He certainly is. He's going at Curtis Brown there with a double fake. You saw the quick passes they've been throwing over there to number 32, Prince Wembley, because of the cushion. He pump fakes it, sends him deep, but he doesn't fool anyone. The cornerback does a great job of going back. Number 21, Ray Adams. He recovers. Brown comes back for the short pass.
Well, Johnny Unitas moved there with that double pump fake. The pitch back, and they fake the reverse, and the ball is kept. Number 33, Chris Anderson, is finally dropped inside the 15. at the 12-yard line by Carlton Buckles. 23 yards on the pickup, and that's what David Palmer does even when he doesn't touch the football.
Oh, absolutely. They do this, set this play the whole time. Now he's going to come this way. Everybody's looking for our man Palmer to carry the ball here. He's going to just keep it straight down the field. There's going to be a big hole. They take advantage of it.
1st and 10. The pitch back, and now they give it to Palmer this time. Barker with a block. Palmer inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. And I don't know who said this Alabama offense was conservative, but they certainly show you a lot of different looks, some reverses, some pitchbacks in different sort of situations, and I think they lull you. I think this guy lulls you into thinking that he's real conservative.
Well, when you keep the ball on the ground, running a reverse today or faking a reverse handoff is not considered to be real high profile. It's still on the ground. You've got to watch the handoffs. But when you've got a guy like David Palmer, that's still conservative in your repertoire.
On 2nd down and 3, they hand it to Anderson, and he is inside the 5 and very close to the 1st down. Chris Anderson came into this game averaging nearly 6 yards a carry. Also a good pass receiver. Bo Davis, the nose tackle, and Clayton Luton, both in there on the tackle. Alabama inside the 20. Well, they've scored on 29 of 36 possessions. 19 touchdowns and 10 field goals. That's excellent, is what that is.
That's taking advantage of the opportunities. They're going to get a little break here as they measure for the 1st down. They kind of regroup, think about it, focus just a bit.
I'll tell you, just by that little space between your thumb and forefinger there. Gene Stallings, of course, played for Bear Bryant, the head coach at Texas A&M years ago, a longtime assistant with Tom Landry and the Cowboys.
And this man,
Curly Hallman,
that man,
played for him at Texas A&M. 3rd down and just about an inch. Barker will get it off the left side. No problem there. So with Alabama leading LSU 10-5 and 6:10 to go, 1st half, the Crimson Tide getting ready to punch one across. This Alabama offensive line, not a spectacular group up front with Shields and George Wilson and Matt Hammond, but they've started 21 straight games next to each other. And I think there's one thing about an offensive line. They're a good, solid college offensive line, but they know each other. They know their blocking schemes, and that goes a long way.
They play well as a unit.
1st and goal from the 2. Anderson, touchdown. Chris Anderson's 6th rushing touchdown this year. And the Alabama faithful at the other end zone cheering loudly.
Well, they had a good look at the offensive line, just opening up a nice hole for Anderson. Anderson not choosing to dive over the top, but waiting to see what opened up and just running it in.
Proctor to attempt the point after. And he got it. And with 5:46 to go, 1st half, Alabama leads LSU 17-5. Alabama, 3rd ranked in the nation, 18-game winning streak. Short kick picked up by number 38 there for LSU, Brian Allen. And coming up on ABC, the stakes are high tonight when Peter Falk stars in a Columbo movie special, Death Hits the Jackpot. Then Pat Sajak guest stars as a TV psychiatrist who's the target of a killer on the commish. It's a very mysterious Saturday tonight on ABC. And of course, Lynn, once again, I want a full review of all of these shows since you don't leave till tomorrow.
I'm going to see if they spin Pat Sajak.
There you go. Just ask for a valve. That's all you got to do. 1st and 10. Jamie Howard's got time to throw. Got a man open downfield. And a terrific catch by Scott Ray at the 47-yard line. 21 yards on the pickup.
Take a look at Scott Ray. Quick receiver. He's got some good running ability after he catches the ball. Gets a good move against the zone defense, but watch him go up for the ball wearing those gloves, and that ball was thrown on a rope. I mean, Jamie Howard has a gun.
Man, there were some ribs exposed there too, Swanee.
Yeah, good thing there was no white jerseys around him.
1st and 10. Howard, once again, another good pass. Inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Torrey James, the freshman from Marrero, Louisiana, with 16 yards on the pickup. And right there, Jamie Howard showing you a little bit of that right arm that the Atlanta Braves like so much when they drafted him and signed him to a big contract.
Well, I think that was a strike.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it was right there. Chest high.
Well, you know, Alabama coaching staff felt that they might see LSU put the ball in the air at least 40 times today. 1st and 10. Handoff to Davis, and gets maybe one. Lemansky Hall, a junior from Valley, Alabama. Number 11 was there to make the tackle. Hall with 36 tackles, 4 sacks, 5 tackles for losses, a couple of fumble recoveries from his outside linebacker position. This defense has given up only 34 rushing first downs this year. Vanderbilt rushed for 12 of those in the first game, and since then, no team has gotten 5 rushing first downs in a game. They have just played terrific football. 2nd and 9. James is the motion man on the play action, and look out. Howard is able to throw it. Oh, what a terrific job at the 22-yard line by Scott Ray. And Lynn, you talk about this so often, how the receivers got to help out the quarterback in trouble.
Oh, absolutely. On this play, you saw one of the rare blitzes from the Alabama defense as they came after him. Look at all the people coming in from the side. Just pushing, putting the pressure on him. It's a little play action. He feels the pressure. Now, Jamie Howard makes his work on his own by scrambling away to the outside. But watch the ball. It's on a rope. Now watch Ray. He's coming back. He's coming back. Boom, right there. I've seen so many receivers not do it in this season.
That's a terrific job by Ray. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Davis on the right side. He got about 4 that time. By the way, Scott Ray has really played some terrific football of late. His first 22 career games here at LSU, he had just 15 catches. He's had 20 in his last 3 games. So they have found someone to go to on the outside, and Davis now starting to get a little room. Once you start throwing the football like that, Lynn, that opens up the running game.
Yeah, but you always have to keep in mind that Alabama is so tough on the run. I mean, they aren't giving you very much at all.
Ray, 3 receptions, 41 yards, 2nd down and 5. 3:17 to go first half. Howard checking off at the line of scrimmage. Pitch it back to Davis. Similar play to the one they fumbled on deep in their own end in the first quarter. Antonio London, 55, and number 31, Sam Shade.
As we come up to a 3rd and 3 situation, 2 runs, people have to keep in mind those 2 runs are having a great deal of success against the Alabama defense, because the Alabama defense gives up about just over 1 yard per rush.
1.8 to be exact. 3rd down and 3. Davis is the deep back. Howard under pressure, gets rid of it, and they got the first down. Odell Beckham, the fullback from Marshall, Texas, made the reception. Antonio Langham was the man coming to put the pressure on Howard, but he did a nice job getting rid of it.
London has been charging in all afternoon, trying to get to the quarterback. Howard gets it away. London pulls up a little bit, but he makes a pretty solid hit anyway.
Now, we already mentioned that Alabama had not given up any points in the first quarter. They've only given up 1 first-half touchdown, their defense this year. That, in their last game, a 53-yard touchdown pass by Ole Miss, as LSU is knocking on the door, but nothing there for Odell Beckham. Eric Curry, number 80, and Lemansky Hall, number 11. And that big man, Eric Curry, has missed a lot of action this year. He had a broken right hand, and this is the first game that he hasn't worn the cast on that hand in about 4 weeks. Mentioned, Lynn, what you're talking about there, allowing just 1.8 yards a carry. LSU, 2nd down and 8. Howard going to the far corner, and there seemed to be a mix-up over there because the only person I saw was Tommy Johnson, and finally Wesley Jacob ran to that far corner. And that'll bring up a 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line.
And it just looked like that ball was thrown too high. But I'll tell you, Curry was coming in on the blitz. We talked about his hand. There's a shot of his hand, the scar. He has 4 screws in that hand, broke it. It came back on a Sunday or Monday, put the screws in, and he played that Saturday.
3rd and goal from the 8th, and 10th play of this drive as Jacob goes in motion. Hand off to Davis. He is down to the 1-yard line. Robert Davis. There's a penalty marker down.
I have no idea what the penalty's for.
And that's the first penalty of this half, and the penalty's against Alabama.
It looked like the defensive line from Alabama, all set for the rush, took off so quick. It looked like 4 or 5 guys came across that line of scrimmage without even being blocked. The great play called, the draw, perfect in that situation.
That is the first penalty of this first half. And now that presents an interesting situation because they're down at the 1-yard line. They'd be 4th and goal from the 1, but with the penalty, they were 3rd and goal from the 8. They'd have 3rd down again and be down to the 3-yard line.
Well, you go half the distance.
Or half the distance.
So it'll be third and 4.
Offsides, defense, half the distance, repeat 3rd down.
So that's what'll happen as Curly Hallman, who was recruited out of the state of Alabama by Gene Stallings, who was moving from Alabama to be head coach at Texas A&M, went out there and played for Gene, was an assistant for many years before getting his head coaching debut at Southern Mississippi, and moved here 2 years ago. Jamie Howard, the freshman quarterback, heading back out on the field, and the timeout being called by LSU. So LSU with the timeout. Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, John Saunders with scores and highlights from around the country, and an interview with Miami's Gino Torretta, their fine quarterback down there, who just seemingly finds a way for the Hurricanes to win every week. Maybe not as talented as some of those Miami quarterbacks of years past, but very, very good in his own right.
Well, he's got Dennis Erickson for a head coach, and when he puts a game plan together, you know, usually has a high rate of success. But now we got 3rd down for LSU against Alabama's defense. The Alabama defense has allowed, coming into this ball game, on 3rd down conversions, 18%. Their defense has only allowed the offense 18% success rate on 3rd down. Curly's over there yelling at the ref.
Well, coming into this game, opponents of Alabama, as you take a look at this current drive, 9 plays and 70 yards, have had the ball for 282 plays against the first team. They'd only given up 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals. Now they've given up the 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals as LSU has it 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Davis and Beckham, the running backs. Jacob is the man in motion. And the left tackle moved for LSU. Kevin Mouet, who is really their most experienced and versatile offensive lineman, moved.
Offense, 3rd down.
So they give it right back to him.
And they lose a yard because they only got 4 yards when it was 3rd and 8, going half the distance of the goal line. Now it comes back.
Isn't it funny how penalties are contagious? We hadn't had one the whole half. Now we had 2 in a row, right?
Back to back.
Yeah. Jermaine Williams, number 32, set behind Jamie Howard. And he's just going to throw it out of the end zone. There was absolutely nobody there for LSU.
Now I think on 4th down they've got to go for the field goal. When had they not taken the penalty, you know, they might have had a chance from the
This is what's called second guess time.
Very much second guessing. The smart thing to do was obviously to take the penalty. You had 2 plays to try and get in for the touchdown from 4 yards away.
Pedro Suarez with the field goal attempt of 26 yards out of the hold of Chad Loop, and it's blocked. It's blocked.
I couldn't tell whether that was Curry or London.
Antonio London is strutting like it was his deal. You know, you don't strut unless you do something good.
That's right. Let's take a look. Right in the middle, number 55. You're right. He's up in the air, leaning forward in that big hand. blocks the field goal.
London was the guy that blocked the field goal at the end of the game last year that prevented a tie against LSU. Back here in Baton Rouge, that was 11 plays, 65 yards over 3 minutes and 41 seconds, and the Tigers came away with nothing. They trail 17-5 as Alabama across the 30 and all the way up to the 35-yard line for the Crimson Tide. Sherman Williams, a sophomore from Mobile, Alabama, as Arizona has gotten on the board first against Washington down in Tucson.
Arizona played Miami very tough, and everyone across the country is saying they want to be able to compare Washington to Miami, and they're going to use this game to a great degree to do that.
Dick Tomey said you got to remember one thing. That game was in Miami, and they didn't respect us. This game's in Tucson, and Washington respects us. Williams across midfield, down to the 42-yard line. Sherman Williams now has touched the ball on consecutive possessions, 24 yards on that pickup, as with 1:30 left to go first half, Alabama's got all 3 of their timeouts. So Alabama takes the timeout. They lead at 7. Of this thing by any stretch of the imagination, yet Alabama with the football, and they have moved with ease on their first couple of plays here with 1:30 to go. Barker throwing it inside to Palmer. That's the second time they've used that play as Palmer gets to the 35-yard line. Clayton Mouton was there to make the tackle after a gain of about 7.
Clayton Mouton made the tackle.
Got a man down.
Back around midfield. Player for LSU. Looks like Ray Adams, senior from Jasper, Texas.
Ray Adams is shaken up on the play.
Cornerback.
6 foot, 168-pounder. Couple of interceptions this year. And quickly, Alabama now up to the line of scrimmage with the clock running. 1:10 left to go, first half. Barker with a lot of pressure and just throws it away. Now, where's the receiver?
There is none.
Yeah, there goes the flag. They finally get the flag. Anthony Williams, 48, one of those guys in there putting the pressure on Barker.
Well, he came in a hurry and using a little bit of that speed as a tight end. And that's a call, down in the football. Look at this from the end zone. There's number 48. Watch him. Nobody blocks him. The fullback takes him on. He bounces off, putting the pressure on, and Barker just dumps the ball.
And, of course, on that penalty, the loss of down. And they'll move it back now to the 49-yard line, and that'll present a 3rd down and 18. 1:05 left to go. LSU with 2 timeouts left. Alabama also with 2. And the blitz coming once again. Barker is able to get rid of it, throws it out in the direction of Palmer. But pressure coming from the outside that time by LSU, and Alabama will be faced with a punting situation.
Carlton Buckley, number 8, doing a great job. Jay Barker feeling the pressure. Not as calm as he was against Ole Miss in the passing game. Curly Hallman looking at his team with a chance possibly get some points before they leave for this first half.
Deal back to punt. That was nearly blocked. Buckles calling for the fair catch at the 21. He loses it, but they say he was down. They say he was down at the 21-yard line. Just a 28-yard punt. 50 seconds left to go, first half. And a penalty marker is down back near midfield. Isn't this funny? We go this whole first half and don't have a penalty until we get to about the 2-minute mark, and now we've had about 5 all of a sudden. You know, it's almost like the officials, who's going to throw the first one? There's really nothing there. And once the first one comes out, everybody starts grabbing them.
Offside. 5-yard penalty. Repeat out.
Okay, so LSU was offsides.
Gives Alabama another chance to punt the football to use up a few more seconds on the clock. kind of funny. One of the odd things about college football that I never get used to is players and the numbers that change around. Brian Deal was listed as number 6 and number 14, but he's wearing number 12 today.
That's something. And he just made a little dive as he hits that punt to the 1. Buckles juggled it. Now Buckles has got a seam. Buckles is knocked out at the 25-yard line by guess who? Number 12. Or was it number 4? Or was it 11?
6 or 14.
The punter got him. The punter got him.
Ryan Deal, great punt that should not have been caught. This is almost blocked, number 1. He picks up off the ground, gets it away, good two-step punter. Excellent punt. Gets down to the 1-yard line.
Oh, look at the fall.
That ball really should have gone into the end zone.
38 seconds left to go first half. LSU's got a couple of timeouts, and Howard wants to put it in the air. He throws it to Jacob, and it's incomplete.
Howard's pass intended
And
for
coming hard that
Jacob.
time, Antonio London from the outside. This Alabama defense, Lynn, with 32 sacks coming into the game, tops in the Southeastern Conference. London with just 1 sack, but those guys up front, Curry and Copeland, with 14 sacks between them.
But these situations play right into the strength of their defense. They can rush 4 people and put good pressure on the quarterback and keep 7 people back in the coverage. This time they rush only 3.
Howard got his receiver, number 87, Brett Besh, makes the catch, and it's a first down as Besh gets up to the 48-yard line, 21 yards on the pickup. Rogers and Langham there to make the tackle. And LSU wants a timeout with 25 seconds left to go first half. And we'll take a pause right here with Alabama leading LSU 17-5. They've got 1 timeout left, 25 seconds to go, and maybe they can get it down in field goal range to let Suarez give it one more shot here before the end of the half. Is Jamie Howard, the true freshman, with pressure and finds his receiver Jacob inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. That's not enough for the first down as the clock continues to run. And Howard's trying to get his team to the line of scrimmage, and they finally decide that they'll burn that final timeout with 13 seconds left to go. This was a year for Curly Hallman, Lynn, where they had 7 home games. And I think anytime you look at your schedule, and I don't care who you're playing, but if you've got 7 home games, that's a real advantage for you. And it just hasn't worked out that way for them here. And they're in the midst of a situation where they have never had an 8-loss season in the history of LSU. And if they lose today, this will be their longest losing streak ever.
Well, and it's unfortunate because this team has really been in a lot of those ball games. So those 7 losses, there was 1 game they lost by 6 points, 1 game they lost by 3 points, and 2 games that they lost by only 2. And so they could have 4 wins as opposed to 5 wins as opposed to the 7 losses at this point. He told us, and we met with him yesterday, he said our team has been, we got them in the 4th quarter in position to win, and then we haven't. He goes, that's been the hard thing about those 7 losses this season. 2nd
down and 5, no timeouts remaining in this first half for LSU as Jamie Howard eludes some trouble, finally throws it over on the side, and will his receiver get out of bounds? He does. His tight end Harold Bishop, with just his 9th reception of the year, gets it out of bounds at the 37-yard line, and LSU is going to have a chance for a field goal.
I said earlier, I saw Pedro Suarez pregame warm-up easily booting field goals in from the 40-yard line. His career long is 51.
And this will be from 54 yards out by Pedro Suarez.
He's got the leg to do it.
That's way short that time. Never really got any height on it. And that completes the first half of play with the 3rd-ranked Crimson Tide of Alabama leading LSU 17-5.
CFA College.
And it will be taken by Chris Anderson. Anderson breaks it outside to the 30-yard line, where he's finally brought down Torrey James, a wide receiver playing on special teams, comes down to make the tackle. So as we get set to start this second half,
And Torrey James.
Jay Barker, the sophomore from Trussville, Alabama, maybe not the most athletic of quarterbacks, but a very good technician. And there's a penalty on that return. It looks like it's going to be clipping against the University of Alabama.
On the return, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Rawlings not happy that his team is not running with any sense of rhythm, timing. They haven't been able to control this game offensively. He loves to have his offenses go up and down the field, possess it.
He likes them to play within themselves, and that's especially what he wants sophomore Jay Barker to do. Not get real fancy as he throws to Palmer. And the other thing is to get the football in that young man's hands, because so many good things happen when he touches it. And sometimes, Lynn, even when he doesn't touch it, if you feature him, good things happen.
Well, if you feature him and he's not coming in with the big plays, what he forces the defensive side to do is just play him, to put someone over there to pay closer attention to what he's doing. If you bring a man up on his face to prevent that, then it creates an alley somewhere for the running attack or another receiver.
Houston and Anderson are the running backs, and that's Anderson, number 33, as he comes to the outside to the 20-yard line and gets to the 21 before Ricardo Washington and Daryl McCorvey make the tackle, and there are your halftime statistics.
Well, again, on the LSU side, the big number, the 3 turnovers right here, I think really shot themselves in the foot in the first half. You look at passing for Alabama, they put the ball in the air a lot to only have 71 yards. But it's the rushing which has put them between the goalposts and the points on the scoreboard.
On a 3rd down and 4, they've outrushed their opponents per game, 221 yards to 59. And on the 3rd down, the pass complete. And to the 29-yard line is Chris Anderson, his 12th pass reception of the year. Buckles and Washington are over there on the tackle. But the running game is something that Alabama has done very well all year, and Lassick has been a key in the last 5 weeks. And sometimes in this sort of offense, Lynn, all you want from your quarterback is just to be sound. Don't make any mistakes. Just make sure the handoffs are there, the short passes. Every once in a while, try to hit that home run as Anderson gets it up the middle, and he'll get about 5 to the 35.
Well, at this point in the ball game, I have to say that Alabama's offense has been terribly unimpressive. Right? They put together one solid drive that they marched down the field. But other than that, they really haven't pulled some things off. The LSU defense has been swarming. They've made some things happen. They forced Alabama into the air more than they wanted to be early on. And Barker has not been as calm as he's been in other situations.
On 2nd and 4, Anderson with the pitch. Anderson down the sideline. Anderson has got one man to beat, and he doesn't do it. He's finally stopped inside the 10-yard line by Ray Adams, number 21. A couple of missed tackles on the way, 59 yards.
I'll tell you, you cannot get lax. He comes out to the sideline, and I felt that LSU's defense let up a little bit. He just breaks through it, and he's gone. Downfield, number 37 for Alabama, Kevin Lee, was blocking constantly on Daryl McCorvey. Right here, down the field, constantly blocking and blocking. Number 21 slips through Ray Adams, but they were pushing people all the way down the field. Alabama just doesn't give up.
Bama wants a timeout. That's the longest run of the year for Anderson of 59 yards. And the touchdown saving tackle by Ray Adams.
Chris Anderson, one of the reasons it worked is because look at the people. 1, 2, oops, that's not a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if you count the other guy on the other side, all on the line of scrimmage. Once you break that line of scrimmage, there's no one else there to make the play. Boom, he's down. There's a 10th man coming in from the sideline. That means only 2 people are in that secondary to make the stop.
And a couple of missed tackles on that play. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line as right up the middle, driving to the goal line was Sherman Williams. And They're going to mark it just shy. Now, the report is Derek Lassick has a bruised shoulder and may not return. As you take a look at Lassick walking the sidelines right now.
Carlton Buckles.
Look down low. You just see the line, driving people from the line of scrimmage, giving this young sophomore a chance to run.
They give it to number 20 once again, Sherman Williams, and they signal the touchdown.
Williams carried. Touchdown.
And he stretches stuff. Didn't look like he got it, but a second effort was able to find a seam and cross the plane. And Alabama has scored.
Well, let's take a look and see how far across that plane young Sherman Williams does get. He doesn't get it there. I don't think. Boy, that's close. It didn't look like he got over there.
Proctor with a point after. And it's good.
I'll tell you one thing, Roger. I hope that official's a bank teller, because I'm going to take a check over to him and have him cash it. He is a very generous man.
12:21 to go, third quarter.
We'll take a look. The official's standing right on the line of scrimmage. He pops in, he can't get. Now he has to come back out and surge forward. And the ball is tucked in his midsection. That's his helmet goes over. I don't see the ball going over.
Here's another look at it from behind. I mean, it's good presence by Williams, the sophomore from Mobile, after that initial stop to try to find something else. And plus his knee's down. I think there's a good case that he didn't make it.
If he's a bank teller, cash my check. He'll give me a little something extra.
Well, Williams with the very short touchdown run, his 6th of the year. And with 12:21 to go, Alabama leads at 24-5. And this is the time of the game when Alabama really becomes a dangerous team, because once they get a bigger lead, they tend to take a few more chances to try to explore a few more things on both offense and defense. As Proctor gets set to kick it off with David Butler back deep along with Gary Pegues. And that's Butler, number 40. He's a freshman. And he is stopped right at the 20-yard line. John Walters, number 90, came down to make the tackle. And now Jamie Howard going to have to try to put something together for LSU. They've moved the ball in spurts. Came into this game with 5 touchdown passes, and now with the 2 interceptions today has 9 interceptions on the year.
And I think they're really going to have to keep the ball in the air, because in that first half they were only averaging 1.9 yards per rush against Alabama's defense.
Wesley Jacob in motion on 1st and 10. The play action and a lot of pressure. They're going to call an incomplete pass. 80 Eric Curry was the man right in his face. 7.5 sacks, 7 tackles for losses. And here's the rush by Curry.
He's going to put the pressure on them. Fortunately for Howard, he got the ball up in the air.
It was a screen setting up.
Well, they're setting up the screen. He gets the ball up in the air, and the official gives him the benefit of the doubt that it was Eric Curry's rush that caused it not to go far enough to reach that screen.
Curry came into the game with 17 quarterback hurries. He's got 3 more today. As on the 2nd and 10, Davis gets the pitch, and there is nothing. There is nothing at the 20-yard line. Antonio London, one of the players there, number 55, but there were 3, including John Copeland.
Well, look at him get off the line. He's going to play the quarterback and the pitch man. He played them both.
Hey, Lynn, you could have played that. Nobody blocked him. You could have played defense there.
Yeah, but Howard's got to come all the way out and challenge him with the ball and make him make a commitment to either the quarterback or the ball carrier, and then make his decision. He didn't do it that time.
3rd down and 14, and this is where the confidence level of Alabama and the uncertainty of LSU really starts to show. But Howard shows you a good arm there. That's short of the first down at the 32-yard line. Scott Ray made the reception. Pulls him out of a bit of a hole, but not enough for the first down.
He drives down to that first down marker. Howard held this ball as long as he could before throwing it under the pressure. But right there, it looked like Scott Ray didn't get to the first down marker. He cut early. Even if he had, it would have been incomplete, or he would have been sacked.
Brian DeSells back at his 17-yard line to punt it. It's a pretty good punt right there. Palmer at the 28. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Palmer dropped at the 26-yard line. Alabama leads it 24-5. Monday Night Football. It'll be at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. The Falcons take on the 49ers. Steve Young's had some injuries, but he should be back. That's live at 9 Eastern Monday night right here on ABC Sports.
And if he's right back, Steve Ballmer will be in there.
Not too bad.
Had a pretty good preseason. Had a tough go against Phoenix.
Barker 7 of 13, 79 yards as Palmer starts in motion. And they hand it right up the middle to number 45, Terrence Lynch, a sophomore from Town Creek, Alabama, as Washington has kicked a field goal to tie Arizona in the third quarter at 3. I'll tell you what Dick Tomey and the Wildcats were hoping for today, that it'd be about 90 degrees down there in Tucson. They always like to bring in those schools from the north and get an afternoon game because Arizona usually plays their home games at night. 2nd and 9. Play action by Barker. They're going to try to set the screen up to the right, and Anderson has got no room to go anywhere as Williams was right there to make the tackle. Bobby Williams, a sophomore from Ruston, Louisiana, was right there, played it perfectly, and a loss of about 3.
No, you know who else is from Ruston, Louisiana?
Burt Jones.
Terry Bradshaw.
Is Burt from there too?
Nope.
Terry is.
Terry is.
Okay.
One of those quarterbacks.
Burt's from Louisiana. I know that. 3rd down and 12. Barker going deep downfield. Just off the outstretched hands of number 37, Kevin Lee.
Kevin Lee, a sprinter on the track team. Perfect example of what I said at the top of the show, Roger, about Alabama opening up their offense, trying to get people to think about this team as more than just a running attack. But further on down the road, they've got a comfortable lead at 24-5.
Blocked. The punt was blocked. Wesley Jacob fumbles it around. It's still being fumbled around, and LSU is going to come up with it. LSU has got it inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. 42, Rodney Young looked to be the man that blocked it, and then there was a battle between Wesley Jacob and one other player to try to pick it up.
Oh, Brian takes the ball easily here. 1, 2 steps. He's getting ready to go. Oh, that's a 3-step approach to the punt.
See how high Young was?
Rodney Young gets up in the air, but he takes 3 steps, Roger, for the punt. He's normally a 2-step punter, gives him the extra time.
That was Gabe Northern and Jacob trying to pick it up. LSU has got it. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Pitch back and around the right side. Hard running right there by number 36, Robert Toomer. And once again, that Alabama defense, which is so tough against the run, George Teague and Antonio London.
Take a look and see how they broke through on the block punt. Everybody's coming straight up the middle. He just squeezes in the seam. Rodney Young does right up the middle and has a direct run at the punter. Big break for LSU.
2nd and goal. Beckham 33, and that's Toomer 36, and nothing doing. This is just an awfully strong Alabama defense. Copeland 94, Gregory 98. They're number 1 in total defense. They're number 1 in scoring defense. And the reason is because at the line of scrimmage, they win the battle.
They're just not winning the battle. They're dominating. Watch on this next play. Watch them come across the line of scrimmage as if they're not even being blocked.
3rd and goal. Howard with some play action. Trying to find some. Penalty marker is down. Jamie Howard finally is pulled out at the 10-yard line, but there was a penalty marker down early in that play, and it's dropped in the end zone. You know, Howard's already got that baseball contract signed. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's going to get chased a couple more times and thinks it's going to be a lot easier throwing that fastball out on the mound.
Right now, he's happy to hear that the penalty is against Alabama.
Copeland and Lemansky Hall were the players giving chase to Jamie Howard.
I'll tell you, this Alabama unit gets off the ball so quick on defense. You know what I try and do to them? I have my offensive line come out in the two-point stance, get their hands on their knees. Have the quarterback kind of dance around a bit, talk to his players, come up.
Holding defense. Penalty be half the distance from the previous spot. Repeat third down.
And then walk up to that center and take the ball on the quick count to prevent this Alabama defensive line from getting off the ball quicker.
Well, you know, earlier in the game, they used the draw effectively. Of course, down near the goal line, that's a tough play to run.
No one's going to back up.
Right.
They're going to stay in tight down.
Exactly. So they've got it now at the 1.5-yard line, 3rd and goal. 7:54 to go, third quarter. Alabama leads at 24-5. Toomer tries the right side. He's got to turn it up. Battles, touchdown, LSU. That is only the 6th touchdown that Alabama has allowed this year.
And Robert Toomer just sticks a nail into the pride of the Bama defense. They string it out, and he just drives foot the power. Going forward. Then look at number 32, Jermaine Williams, throwing a block on the inside.
He got 2 of them. Toomer is a true freshman from Sylvester, Georgia. And it looks as though LSU is going to go for a 2-point conversion. And why ask why? They're 3 for 3 this year on 2-point conversions. 24-11. Jacob in motion to the near side. Howard on the option. Didn't get it. Didn't get it. Lemansky Hall and Michael Rogers.
Well, the option didn't really phase Alabama. They play it tough. You see number 94, Copeland, penetrating on the inside. Then number 52, Rogers coming across. Lemansky Hall, number 11.
It's okay, though. 24-11, 7:46 to go third quarter.
Inside LSU
2 touchdowns, 14 points. That's 25-24. So,
and I'll bet you right now, Gene Stallings is saying, okay, forget all that long passing. Yeah. We didn't complete any of those passes. We ended up turning the ball over deep in our own territory. Let's get back into our game plan of running the football, get some more points on the board, and run this clock out.
I saw Hootie Ingram, the Alabama athletic director, at halftime, and he told me, he says, I don't know if that off week was good for us or bad for us. He says, you know, you think about it, and he says, it's great to have the rest and whatever, but the fact of the matter is they were rolling along. They were 8-0. They had just been playing terrific football, and he was concerned that now they'd gotten out of their rhythm. And now LSU has started to force a couple of things. And Gene Stallings, I don't care whether Alabama has an 18-game win streak, but he is deathly afraid of coming to Death Valley, especially 2 years in a row.
Charlie Hallman told me, he says, you can never predict how a team will come off a bye.
Herkamp hits a line drive that Anderson fumbles inside the 5. Anderson, penalty markers down as he's brought down at the 23-yard line.
You can just see the energy and the emotion now coming out of the players from LSU.
Absolutely.
Mike Sefto. Byron Allen made the tackle.
Holdings against Alabama. You know, it's interesting. Last week I did the Georgia-Florida game, and I worked with Dick Vermeil, and there was a blocked punt early in the game, and Dick, who's a statistics fanatic, says that more times than not, if a team has a punt block, they usually lose the football game. And it happened in the Georgia-Florida game last week. Now,
On the return, holding on the receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
this is a little different situation here, but we'll keep an eye on that thought through the rest of this game. 7:35 to go third quarter.
The LSU defense right now really needs to stop Alabama in their half of the field to try and get more field position for their offensive unit.
Sherman Williams, number 20, is the deep back, and he's got the pitch. On on the right side and out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Gain of about 6. John Morgan, number 90, a senior from Rayne, Louisiana. They're stretching it out.
He is a tough ball player. He already has his degree. He's in graduate school. John Morgan, that is.
3-time SEC academic honor roll for Morgan.
Yep.
Well, as a matter of fact, there's 6 players on the Alabama team that have already graduated, including Eric Curry. You look out there on the sidelines. 2nd down and 4. That was Lee in motion to the near side. Williams trying the right side again. He's going to be very close to the 1st down. And Lynn, you were absolutely right. Alabama now with this 13-point lead going back to the ground, just trying to ground it out.
Williams carried. Mouton, Gilliard.
There's nothing fancy about Alabama's offensive run game. The offensive line fires out. A couple of people will just drive, block their men down the line. Give the back the ball deep in their own territory and let them pick a hole.
1st down and 10. That's Lee in motion to the near side. Williams once again, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Busting through was Bobby Williams, a sophomore from Ruston, Louisiana.
Bobby Williams, backup linebacker, coming on strong in this ball game. Take a look at number 30, Bobby Williams. Bottom of your picture, number 30. He reads a play, avoids a lead blocker. Gets inside. Nice lateral movement on his part.
2nd down and 10. They said he got back to the line of scrimmage as Barker throws to the far side and finds his receiver out there, Prince Wimbley. And now they say, no, he juggled the football out of bounds as Carlton Buckles was there on the coverage.
Prince Wimbley, elected one of the captains for the year of this football team, had an opportunity there, but he just never gained control of the football and then was driven out of bounds.
There's Gene Stallings. The amazing thing about Gene is he still loves to recruit. Being through the pro wars and everything else, he enjoys the recruiting process in college football. On 2nd down and 10, there was some movement on the line. No flag and wide open. And across the 45 and now past midfield is Steve Buskey, the senior tight end from Suitland, Maryland, who had caught just 6 passes coming into this game. 28 yards on the reception. He was wide open.
I'll tell you, Steve is from Washington, D.C., a hard-nosed kid. Never thought he'd ever see himself down in Alabama playing football. Said he's glad for the opportunity to get away to some bad things that could have happened to him in Washington, D.C. Not the best hands in the world, but he comes up with a key catch.
Playing with a bad back today also, as Williams tries to take it to the left side, and he's driven out at the 45-yard line. Vincent Fuller was the man that came over to meet him. You know, LSU has not beaten Alabama in Baton Rouge since back in 1969. Long time to go on your home field without beating these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hello there. Isn't that special?
There we are.
Where's that guy at? Is he next door? 2nd down. Williams wants to throw it. He's going to Palmer downfield. Broken up. Beautiful play by Carlton Buckles. Sherman Williams threw the pass. And it was a pretty good pass, too.
Yes, he did. But Buckles was right on the play. You know, we expected to see Palmer in this situation throwing the football. But they kind of fool all of us. Put Williams in the situation going to Palmer. But Buckles, I'll tell you, he's a guy who takes everything personally. Was not going to let David Palmer get the easy touchdown on him.
Fine coverage right there. Vincent Fuller might have picked that off. It just bounced off the shoulder of Buckles. 3rd down and 7. Alabama's 4 of 8 in 3rd down situations. Barker pressured. He's dunked at the 46-yard line. The 2nd sack today by LSU. And it was Bobby Williams who's really come up big. And this LSU team, not known for getting to the quarterback, has gotten there twice today.
Every time they've had to throw the football down the field deep, in a third down situation, the receivers take too much time to get open. Blitz, perfect opportunity in that play.
LSU had just 12 sacks coming in to this game today. And look at this punt going out at the 5-yard line. Deal hit a beauty.
The 5-yard line.
Timeout on the field, 5:12 to go, third quarter. Alabama leads LSU 24-11. Have ever been found. Roger Twyble, Lynn Swan with you. Alabama leads 24-11, and keep in mind that 11 points equals the season high that Alabama has allowed this year. That was to Arkansas. And
as we take that shot over Christy Phillips, former gymnast.
There you go.
Now a cheerleader at LSU. LSU has a chance to make an impressive drop here, backed up all the way to the 5.
First and 10 from the 5-yard line. Davis looking to the right side, still battling as he gets to the 8-yard line. And Pedro Suarez, we're told, will not return today. He's got some back spasms. And the kicking game has been a problem. Herkamp has not made a field goal this year. Suarez has missed a couple of games. Unfortunate death of his brother, had to return home, missed a game. Had a problem with Coach Hallman earlier this year, sat out a game. And so there's been some inconsistency there, whereas Suarez led them in scoring a year ago. Second down and 7. Howard looking on the right side, gets it downfield. This tight end makes the catch. Harold Bishop, and a pickup and a first down for LSU. Boy, what an athletic play there by Jamie Howard.
Oh, what a great play.
Harold Bishop.
I would have never thought that Howard would have come up with that ball. Take a look. He just spins, reverses on it. And Bishop comes away with a great catch.
Bishop, a big target at 6'6" and 250. First and 10 from the 18-yard line. Play action. Howard, that's batted down. Man, right in his face was John Copeland.
Jamie Howard's pass is blocked.
John Copeland and also Victor Lockett, number 99. They were both there.
Watch number 99, 94 side by side. They run a little game. 99 gets inside, Copeland's on the outside, and it's Copeland's left hand that gets up and makes the play.
John Copeland, for the 4th time this year now, Lynn, has batted down a pass attempt. He's 6'3", 261 as Jacob goes in motion to the far side. Second and 10. They hand it up the middle. Davis has got some room. He spins across the 25 to the 28. And let's go to New York and John Saunders. John?
James Gregory.
Louisville and Texas A&M. Rodney Thomas with a nice bit of running here, 27 yards. But watch when he gets inside the 5. He just leaps and takes it the rest of the way through the air. They're rolling 33-12. Roger.
Thank you very much.
I hate it when people do that unnecessary jumping. Drew Pearson did that once in the Dallas game. Yeah. Twisted in the air, came down, twisted his knee.
Exactly. Third down and a long one. They throw it downfield and the reception made. Yes, and it counts.
Scott Ray,
you bet.
Team. Oh, what a great set of hands he is showing you this afternoon. This ball again by Jamie Howard comes in on the rope, showing you the ability of his arm, on the run, fires it. Watch this catch on the sideline. He goes up in the air, just on his fingertips.
Wow. Is that any good?
Oh.
Is that any good?
Hey, put it on the stage and call it ballet.
Scott Ray, the junior from Baton Rouge, 5 receptions, 57 yards, first and 10 at the 33-yard line on the option. Now Howard's got a man open, and he just throws it up in the air, and it's going to be picked off. At the 24-yard line, George Teague, and man, did he have a receiver, Shedrick Wilson, wide open.
I don't understand that. Every time he tried to go deep down the middle of the field, it looks like he's throwing a punt as opposed to a pass that someone is going to catch. Where's the pressure coming from?
Well, right there.
94, John Copeland.
That's why he threw it so high.
Yeah, but when he throws that kind of pass, he can't throw it and turn his head. Roger, he just took the ball, threw it, turned his head, looked down, and caused that ball to go right up in the air.
Second interception today for Teague, 12 on his career now. As LSU had something working, and now Alabama's got it, and they immediately go out to the far side to number 32, Prince Wembley. But Carlton Buckles was right there to bring him down with 3:22 to go, third quarter.
Carlton Buckles made the tackle.
Now, watch his head, Roger. As Jamie goes back to throw, he's going to get pressure. He's got to keep focused. He just turns his head. When he turns his head goes down, the shoulder and arm come up, and he launches it like a rocket.
Because he had his man wide open. 2nd and 6.
Anderson taking that ball, running like he's a groundhog for a few yards.
At the conclusion of today's game, we'll be selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. And for the 22nd year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. So Lynn and I will be coming up with the players of the game later on. You pick out who you think. We'll tell you who we think, and what we think will count.
There are a lot of players playing awfully good this afternoon.
Anderson now 9 carries for 103 yards on a 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line, and Anderson has it again, the right side, turns it back across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Gain of about 6 on the play. Daryl McCorvey, who's cousin Willie's on the coaching staff at the University of Alabama, came up to help on the tackle. And
well, that gives you an idea that those numbers right there, the depth of Alabama's running attack. Your backup tailback comes into the ball game and easily picks up over 100 yards for you. And we're still in the third quarter.
Just over 2 minutes to go. 2nd down for Anderson. Going to lose a yard on that play. Next Saturday, I want you to stay tuned here to ABC Sports. We've got a doubleheader for you. Coming up first, our national game will be out of the Big Ten, Illinois against Michigan. That's live at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, and 9 Pacific. And then regional coverage for you, Georgia, Auburn, Arizona and USC, Syracuse and Boston College, Ohio State, Indiana, and Colorado and Kansas. Check with your local cable company for the pay-per-view possibilities in your area, as Alabama has it 3rd and 6 at the 30-yard line. Barker, blitz on, he's down. Ricardo Washington was the man that came and got him. And Barker is sacked for the 3rd time today. And there's their defensive coordinator, Mike Bugar.
Mike excited about the way his defense is playing. Watch number 13, right in the center of the screen, Ricardo Washington. It's a blitz. They fake the draw. A couple of people stopped momentarily, but not Washington.
I'll tell you, Deal wasted no time getting that punt away, and it's a good one to the 35, and Buckles running sideways. Now he cuts it up. Got a 5-yard pickup. Nice job there. Nice job as Mario Morris came and made the tackle. And there's a look at Ricardo Washington, who, in all honesty, the coaching staff a little bit disappointed in his play this year after moving from the offense to the defense. But he's come up and played a good game today.
They like the way he plays. He goes after it aggressively, but just not consistently.
Florida hangs on to beat Southern Mississippi. Georgia is idle. Mississippi State a tough one, but they beat Arkansas. Tennessee is idle. Vanderbilt beat Kentucky. That out of the Southeastern Conference. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Less than a minute to go. Third quarter, and once again, that Alabama defense doesn't let you get near the line of scrimmage, as John Copeland was there to make the tackle. Ole Miss stops Memphis State's winning streak. 17-12 the final in that one, and South Carolina continues to win. They got by Louisiana Tech 14-13.
Now, hey, if it's a tight end anyway,
And there's the defense.
I think go weak side away from you. You got to come over.
It says wait for you, don't wait for much.
2nd down, 11. Howard on the run. Oh, almost a grab over there by Brett Besh, and Howard is down at the 25-yard line, holding his right arm.
Derek Golden, number 56.
Excuse me, Lynn, I'm sorry.
Yes. Watch, I believe it's Derek Golden, number 56. He's rolling out. Number 11, Lemansky Hall was blocked. And watch the pressure right here.
That's 56.
56. Olden comes in and just lays a stick on him.
And that is the right shoulder.
Come on, baby. We are.
As you mentioned.
So Jamie Howard has gone to the sideline.
Jamie Howard
into the
was
game.
shaken up on the play.
And, you know, It's secondary right now, but the young man does have a professional baseball career in front of him. But the primary thing you're hoping right now is that he can come back in. Ryan Huffman, number 15, a redshirt freshman from Houston, Texas, has checked into the game on a 3rd down and 11. Huffman's thrown 21 passes this year. He's going to run with that and get up to the 44-yard line and pressure once again. Lemansky Hall. We've completed 3 quarters of play here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Alabama leads it 24-11. And we'll be back. Lynn, where's that American flag and the golf ball up there?
I think it's right here. Isn't this the Sea of Tranquility?
I think that's it.
And this is the Half Moon Bay down in this area? Yeah, that's... What a great shot. I remember it so well.
Where did we get that lens anyway? Did we?
I don't know, but we need to keep it.
We're set to start the final 15 minutes here. Brian DeSalle's back inside his 30 to punt it on a 4th down and 7. And we'll get a report for you on Jamie Howard. That kick off the side of his foot, not a very good punt at all, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 32-yard line. An encouraging note for the Louisiana State University Tigers. They have 213 total yards right now, and that's the most given up by Alabama this year. As Jamie Howard taking a look at his right shoulder, what happened on that play, the helmet of that on-charging Alabama player, number 56, Derek Oden, went right into his shoulder after he had released the football. And Huffman, who has played this year, a redshirt freshman, will come back if Howard can. Look out. They give it to Palmer coming around. LSU, what a terrific job. And once again, Bobby Williams. Boy, has he come up big here today.
He has come up with tremendous plays late in the second quarter, throughout the second half. And Palmer, who gets away from just about everybody in those kinds of situations, was nailed.
Second down and 12. A loss of 2 on that play. Williams has got 5 tackles today, and 4 of them have been for losses. Alabama leads it 24-11. Palmer in motion to the near side. Barker to Palmer. Ooh, nice defensive play back there. Number 42 for LSU, Rodney Young, the man that came in and blocked that punt earlier, made the nice play to knock that pass down.
Palmer comes across, gets into a little open area of the zone coverage, but Young makes the great athletic move to get up and tip this ball away. You see him come over right there, out of position to make that play.
Sophomore from Grambling, Louisiana. How did Eddie Robinson let him get away?
How did he get away?
3rd down and 12. Backside. Mike Steptoe. The 4th sack today of Jay Barker. And this LSU defense has turned it up a notch on this Saturday.
He comes from the side of the screen. He's a cornerback. He's got terrific speed, a sprinter.
Barker did a good job just to hold on to the football as the punt comes down to Buckles at the 30. And no room there at all. Is down on the coverage for Alabama, John Walters, number 90. 13:25 to go in this game, and Alabama leads it 24-11. With a bruised shoulder and arm, 14 of 25, 162 yards, 3 interceptions, and now Arizona has jumped out on top of Washington 6-3 in a real defensive battle, and 12.5 minutes left in that game. And Chad Luke, the junior from University High in Baton Rouge, who started 6 games last year, the first 2 games this year, has checked into the game at quarterback. 1st and 10, 32-yard line. Plenty of time to throw, and he finds his tight end, Harold Bishop, a junior from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, if you will, at the 40-yard line.
LSU has, throughout the day, had good success moving the ball on 1st down, keeping away from too many of the 3rd and long situations and 2nd and long.
Chad Loop had some success last year, completed 58% of his passes, over 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. Second down and 2 for LSU, 12:49 left to go in this football game. Loop to throw again, and he comes to the near side, and yeah, he made the catch on the near side over there. Brett Besh. Let's go to New York and John Saunders. John?
Roger, Louisiana Tech and South Carolina. South Carolina looking for their 4th straight win. A little intense here. 2 ejections, 1 from each team. Apparently this happened as one team was lining up to punt. They objected to the blocking assignments, and everything broke loose. 14-13, the Gamecocks win. Roger.
Thank you, John. South Carolina's won 4 in a row, and LSU with the first down. They give it up the middle. The ball carrier was Artie Moore, young man we haven't seen on the field today. Another true freshman from Wiggins, Mississippi, just 5'7", 171 pounds. Lemansky Hall, who was right there to make the stop. But Moore is just another, Lynn, of all those freshman running backs that Curly Hallman has.
And he's trying to, I think, keep his backs fresh, come in with a little more speed now. Someone who's got the fresh legs, anxious to play and make the big play for his LSU Tigers.
Second down and 10. Luke, a lot of time throwing across the field is tight end Bishop. That's a first down at the 37-yard line. And Harold Bishop, being from Tuscaloosa, has to be awfully fired up right now. He's getting very involved in the passing scheme of things for LSU.
Chad Loop, junior quarterback with experience and game savvy. In the 6 starts of last year, finding the receivers downfield. Heads he moved to roll out a little half roll and find his tight end coming across the field.
First and 10 from the 39-yard line. Luke 3 for 3 and 30 yards on the play action. And a moment. Well, he gets rid of it. No, they're going to say he was down. They're going to say he was down. Derek Oden, 56, one of the men there.
Well, this is not the NFL where there's an in-the-grasp kind of rule. Luke does a good job. Give this sack to the reputation of the Alabama defense, because he was squarely on his feet and made a great play.
The 3rd sack today for Alabama, and for Derek Oden, his 2nd of the year, and that's a loss of 8, so it's 2nd and 18. Draw play, good thought, but there was just nothing there as the man, Jeremy Nunley, 73, the junior from Winchester, Tennessee, read it all the way and was not fooled in the least bit.
Jeremy Nunley, along with James Gregory for this offensive unit of Alabama, have been a couple of the surprise players of the year. They knew there was talent there, but they've come up, played to the level, or at least close to the level of Curry and Copeland. They give them solid people in the middle.
3rd down and 18. LSU 6 of 13 in 3rd down situations. Luke, weak side pressure, stays on his feet. Finally gets rid of the football, and that's all that he can do is get rid of it. But what a terrific job he did to elude the pressure of Eric Curry, number 80, who was the man who initially got a piece of him.
Now watch Curry, number 80. Watch his right hand, I believe. He's going to reach out, almost grab him with his left hand, excuse me. But look at Luke. I mean, he's got a hand down, looks like Brando Cunningham against the New York Giants being hit by I think it was Rodgers.
I forget the play.
No, he was hit by Pepper Johnson, put one hand down,
yeah, spun
straight
around
on his feet, threw the touchdown pass.
Brian DeSales, the punt it. And another poor punt off the side of his foot. Gets a fairly good bounce. Well, it's a real good bounce. It's getting better all the time, folks. It gets down to the 16-yard line. And with 9:35 left, us big hitters for that 9-hole Merrill Lynch Shootout Championship. It's all tomorrow on ABC Sports.
Big John did it.
Here's what Alabama, 1992, 4.5. Today, 5.1. LSU, 3.7. 1.4 average yards per rush. As right there with the football is Martin Houston, a senior from Center, Alabama. And you know at this time, with 9:26 and the clock running, Gene Stallings And Curly Hallman locked up in this student-pupil sort of battle. Well, the mentor right there, Gene Stallings, is just going to work that clock, try to take some time off it, keep the ball on the ground, not make any mistakes. Try to get out of here and go to Starkville next week and win another. Anderson stuck over at the 20-yard line. James Gilliard, the freshman from Shreveport, came up to meet him along with Robert Deschâtel.
Early on, Gilliard was making some big plays, and it seemed like Alabama got away from Gilliard. Started going to the other side. Went back at him on that play. He's still home, knocking the door down.
Third down, Alabama.
Last time LSU beat Alabama was in Tuscaloosa in '88, 19-18. Bama's won 3 straight. As the pass thrown to the far side and right on the sticks. The reception made over there by Prince Wimbley, the senior from Miami, and with 10.5 minutes left to go, Arizona now leads Washington 9-3. And will that shake things up in college football if the Wildcats can hang on and beat the Huskies?
Well, somebody should just let LSU know that all things are possible. Arizona, solid football team, but that still has to be a very big upset.
The Desert Swarm defense of Dick Tomey. 1st and 10, and the handoff right up the middle, and once again it's Martin Houston, a 5'10", 235-pounder, came into this game averaging over 4 yards a carry. Navy finally got their first win of the year at the expense of Tulane, and then Memphis State, who had won 5 in a row, they fall today to Ole Miss. South Carolina keeps on winning.
Talk about Martin Houston. Martin is one of those players, one of 6 players from Alabama that has his degree, is also married. Wife's name is Cassandra. He's got a little son, 18 months old, named Xavier.
2nd down and 7. Pitch back to Anderson. Good bit of running there. Anderson still moving past midfield. Anderson inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. And Chris Anderson with the carry of 34 yards. Ray Adams finally made the tackle.
And give Martin Houston, number 35, credit for the block to Springs him. Right there, he gets number 7, Gilliard. Then he goes downfield. Now watch Anderson all the way picking up blocks. Watch him continue to run in between his own players where he thinks the block is going to be. Right there, he tries to crack that seam as he crosses the 35-yard line.
Alabama doesn't have a lot of big plays, but they've got a lot of plays in that 20 to 35, 40-yard area as the ball carrier, and look at this terrific move by Sherman Williams, able to stay on his feet to get to the 30-yard line, a gain of about 5 where Buckles and Hilliard make the tackle.
Now, that's remarkable running for Sherman Williams. I mean, he's only 5'9". He's a stocky, he's a tough 190-pound player. I don't know too many young men carry football, get hit that many times, and still have the momentum going forward.
Alabama averages over 5 yards per carry, and a loose ball on the field, and they say Alabama got it. Well, that's what Curly Hallman's looking for right now, that turnover.
He can't seem to get it. Too many breaks here in this game. Watch when he gets hit. The ball's going to pop loose, and there are predominantly purple jerseys all around him. You would think he would be able to get the ball, but it bounces downfield.
Look like Kevin Lee.
Kevin Lee, number 37, the wide receiver, comes in to recover it.
Alabama now faced with a 3rd down and 3. Alabama has 98 more first downs this year than their opponents. And Anderson will get a try to get another first down. Look at this. Now they're going to call him down. They're going to call him down at about the 26-yard line. Goodness. This kid has great balance, tremendous leg drive. And let's see where they spot it, Lynn, because it looks to me like it's going to be short of the first down.
Yeah,
they spotted it right at the 25, but they needed to get past it.
They needed to get about to the 25 and the 24.5-yard mark.
Well, listen, you're the 3rd-ranked team in the nation. You've won 18 in a row. You're going to go for it on 4th down, leading by 13 with 5.5 left. 4th down for Alabama. And that's easy. That's no problem. That's Martin Houston. All the way down to the 16-yard line.
Number 45, Terrence Lynch, was the fullback in an offset position. He just came crashing down. I believe it was Auxilia who was on the end of the line of scrimmage. Once the back read that, he just bounced it out to the outside to pick up the big first down. Houston.
Ball down at the 17-yard line for Alabama, 1st and 10. Pitch back to Anderson. He'll get a couple. And let's go to New York and John Saunders. John?
Well, Roger, Washington and Arizona, and Mark Brunell with a fumble here. Jim Hoffman recovers. It sets up Steve McLaughlin. 30 yards, his 3rd field goal of the game. And Arizona has just intercepted a Washington pass with a 9-3 lead in the 4th quarter. Roger.
Thank you very much, John. Remember, Billy Joe Hobart is suspended, so if they would want to go to their other quarterback, Brunell's the only guy, and they've really interchanged those two this year. Alabama 2nd and 9. Anderson one more time up the middle. Penalty marker down as Anderson gets inside the 5-yard line. Anderson has now rushed for over 150 yards today. That's a career high, but Bama is going to be called for holding.
Well, when you run the ball this effectively and you can break through the line of scrimmage for 20 and 30-yard runs, and the big runs that Alabama's achieved this day.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, and in spite of the foul, repeat the day.
That does reduce, to some degree, how much you need that big passing game.
Gene Stallings showing his displeasure. A terrific job he's done at Alabama. Lost his first 3 games, has won 26 of his last 29.
When he came to Alabama, Alabama was trying to put the ball in the air quite a bit more. He was 0-3 and trying to put it in the air. He said, whoa, baby.
Let's go downstairs.
Let's go down.
2nd down and 19. Williams has some room. Williams, touchdown. 24 yards on the touchdown run.
Williams wants to dance so bad.
There he goes. Now he's doing it.
There he goes. He wanted to dance. Big Roosevelt Patterson, number 77, was like the 3rd guy that came down to embrace him. Oh, tremendous job by the offensive line. As you said earlier, maybe not the most talented group, but they play as a team. Look at the blocking downfield. And then his effort to get the last yard into the end zone.
All he wants to do is dance, Lynn. Proctor to attempt the point after. And it's good. And with 4:04 left to go here at Tiger Stadium, Alabama leads LSU by 20. Proctor to kick it off for Alabama. Gary Pegues takes it at the goal line. And still on his feet, spinning across the 30 to the 31. And we mentioned earlier, a number of the Alabama players have already graduated. And here's a look at them.
Take a look. George Wilson, history, Houston, Wall, Curry, Bevel, Moss. All these young men have gotten their degrees. They're still in other classes, either taking classes towards a second major
or in
graduate school. And I think certainly with the workload from the classes in football, they are to be commended for coming out early.
And Curry came into Alabama as a Prop 48, so even more congratulations to him, because a lot of folks said he couldn't do it, and he did it. Current win streaks, Miami with 26, Washington 23, and that is in jeopardy at the moment in Tucson, Arizona. And Alabama with the win would now move it to 19. So those are the current winning streaks in college football of note, as Luke is tackled by John Copeland.
Copeland and Curry, the bookends in that defensive line, also roommates. Tough players. Copeland says just doesn't worry about much when he gets out in the football. Just worries about making his plays.
as the tight end, Harold Bishop, stretches up to the 39-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down as LSU is trying to hurry up now with less than 3 minutes to go. Alabama with a couple of timeouts left. LSU with all 3 of theirs left. LSU on 4th down has converted 9 of 11. And look at that, folks. Make it 10 of 12 on 4th down as the pass is completed over on the far side. We want to take a look now, Lynn, at your Alabama checklist. See how that worked out today.
Well, don't give LSU hope. I think they failed. They gave them tremendous hope in this ball game. Play in LSU territory, I'm going to fail them on that. They didn't play there enough. Run with confidence, absolutely. Control the game, that's going to be a wash. Create turnovers, absolutely.
1st down and 10 for LSU. Loop has completed 6 of 7 for 45 yards on a afternoon where he has come in to replace Jamie Howard. Wesley Jacob makes the reception at the 49-yard line. So Jacob brought down by Antonio Lang, and we were talking about the winning streak of Alabama, their longest winning streak, who is back from 78 to 80 when they won 28 in a row, including the national championship in 79. As Luke, with some pressure, is able to get it away and nearly picked off by George Teague. He was looking for the hat trick on that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he was being forced down on another play earlier. He was able to find that receiver, but not on that play.
2:17 left to go.
Please report to campus, please.
Clemson, big win over Carolina today. And Wake Forest, look at the Wake at 6-3 on the year, having a terrific season. Third down and 5. Another good catch by Scott Ray. I'll tell you, he has been most impressive. And Lynn, you can appreciate as a former receiver the way he extends himself and the way he gets his hands away from his body to make that grab.
He's doing this afternoon what so many receivers fail to do. Sacrifice and sell out to make the catch. He's going to get hit anyway. Make the catch. He just extends, gets his hands on the ball, brings it in. He's not catching with the body, catching it all in his hands.
6 receptions, 64 yards for Ray as Luke on 1st and 10. Well, yeah, he finally decided to run with it. He got it down to the 31-yard line as the clock continues to run. Less than 2 minutes to go. LSU wants to take a timeout here, and as they have this record of 1-7, they're going to have consecutive losing seasons, 3 of them for the first time since 1956. We'll be right back.
Out here,
Mr. 9 Pacific, Illinois against 4th-ranked Michigan, and then regional action after that. You'll be seeing one of these games: Georgia, Auburn, Arizona, or USC, Syracuse, Boston College, Ohio State, Indiana, or Colorado and Kansas. That's next Saturday here on ABC Sports. And they just announced the Arizona-Washington score, and the Alabama fans here stood up and cheered, because what that means if Washington loses is that Miami will remain number 1. Alabama, currently ranked 3rd, should go to number 2, and they're thinking Sugar Bowl, and they're thinking national championship game.
It's a strong possibility.
LSU, 2nd down and 3. 1:50 left to go. Luke loses it. And covered by LSU all the way back at the 43-yard line.
Loose fumble is recovered. Number 57.
Kevin Muai came back to pounce on it.
Chad's just cornered in the pocket, and he can't get away. And Antonio London, 55, coming in, bumping the ball. Ball had not gone forward, moved forward.
I want to remind you, coming up is the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. So time permitting, that'll be coming along. We've got 1:25 left to go here. LSU has got a timeout left. They trail Alabama 31-11. Well, LSU got off to a good start today. Jamie Howard, their young freshman quarterback. Things looked very positive for him. They fell behind, started to come back in the second half, and then this young man suffered a bruised right shoulder.
And then he sat down and tried to warm it up a little bit, but just couldn't make it happen.
Now let's take a look at the standings in the two divisions of the Southeastern Conference. And Alabama will now clinch that Western Division. And Ole Miss behind at 5-3, Mississippi State at 4-2. Alabama plays at Starkville next Saturday. And, of course, finishes up with Auburn. Third down and 23. Well, Luke, not a chance. Antonio London and Jeremy Nunley. And there's a penalty marker down.
Antonio London. Flag on the play.
If LSU was smart, they'd be holding them.
Yeah.
At least protecting their personnel a little bit.
Well, a tough day for the offensive line for LSU.
Dead ball foul. After the play, personal foul. Offense. Fourth down.
Personal foul on offense. You know, coming into the game today, LSU's offensive line had not allowed their quarterback, Jamie Howard, to be sacked in the last 3 games. That all changed against Alabama today, who came in with 32 sacks, leading the Southeastern Conference.
Once again, proving the domination of their defense is definitely for real.
Scott Holstein now is going to try to punt it. His first appearance today. He's back inside the 5. And David Palmer, who had a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown in this game a year ago, which Alabama won 17-14. And whoa, no, he got back. Center didn't have that peripheral vision. Snapped that ball. And Palmer's just going to let it go, and it's down at about the 43-yard line with less than a minute to go in this game from Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. And the Eastern Division, Georgia was off today. Florida played a non-conference game, so they're at 5-2. And, of course, if it ends in a tie, Florida, having beat Georgia, would advance to the Southeastern Conference Championship game. There's the schedule. South Carolina, then at Vanderbilt and at Florida State. And Georgia at Auburn, then another week off, and then Georgia Tech.
And Florida, who is not on Alabama's schedule this season, last year thumped Alabama really good.
35-0 last time they lost a game. This will be 19 straight victories. And, of course, that SEC championship game right here on ABC Sports. So, Alabama just going to run out the clock.
Takes a knee.
Well, while Alabama's going to win this football game, still LSU did some good things this afternoon. Unfortunately, they shot themselves in the foot once too often. The turnovers early in the ball game. Curly Hallman's team was in position to make some things happen, and they just misfired and couldn't pull it off.
Second down and 11. That should do it. Our Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Chris Anderson from the University of Alabama, career high 149 yards rushing today. And Bobby Williams from LSU with 6 tackles, 4 for loss. And Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. So congratulations to those 2 players, and congratulations to Alabama as they pick up a 31-11 victory. And we'll be back with you on the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report right after this.
Hey, number 1, baby, we're coming to get you, number 1. Hello, hello.